Having bad grades in 12th or not having cleared IIT or something, it doesn't really kill you. I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise, of course. But many people actually feel that way, and this really surprises me. Like, sometimes I'm getting on a call with students who are preparing for the bachelor's, and the biggest concern that they have is like they're going to like perform worse in the board exams or something, or they will not be able to clear the IIT JEE exam and things like that. And when they say those things, the way their face just kind of like shrinks together, like it's really sad to see that. So, let me tell you a story, right? So, of course, like I will tell you my own story and I will tell you like how things proceeded and how actually like not going to IIT or something was maybe more beneficial for me because I was able to find more time for myself and like do more things. These people who still keep on saying, why aren't you talking about IIT, NITs, and so on? What you have to understand is like maybe like what 20,000 students like in total study in NITs and IITs, maybe more. But if you're taking a look at that, 1.5 million people are actually writing the exam, and out of that, almost 1 million people are clearing the exam and are studying engineering in India. So you have to see where are most of the students studying. Of course, in your local universities, local colleges, and things like that. And for some people, this feels like such a blow that, my God, like, I couldn't get there, but it's not such a big deal. When I was doing my 12th grade and I was doing my IIT JEE stuff, so of course I couldn't clear it. At that time we used to have AIEEE. In that I got a ranking of 43,434. Was a very interesting number, 43434. Then afterwards in my 12th I was just getting what 83.3% or 83.4% or something like that. So with this, like the only options that I had at that time was like some people were saying yes I might get NIT or something because of Haryana state like quota or something like that, but there wasn't anything like that like at this rank. Now, because like the state quotas and stuff, like many states have it. I think Haryana also, I don't know, 5%, 10% or something like that they have for their own state in some universities. So the entire counseling thing started. Now, the first place where I was able to find admission in with the counselings and stuff, physical counselling, was GJU Hisar. GJU was an interesting university, and because like we previously used to live in Hisar, so my father knew a few people, and it was like, yeah, let's just go and see like how the university is. We went there. I first of all enrolled myself in computer science in GJU, and it was like, interesting. So I'm going to study computer science because that was what my rank was allowing at the time. Then afterwards, the second counseling happened. And in the second counseling, we went to UIET Kurukshetra. So of course, my father, he teaches in Kurukshetra University. And for us to like go into UIET and stuff, everything was pretty familiar. And then our ranking came, and then we were going to the admission committee and we were like seeing what kind of things are available. And I think in UIET, I was registering myself for mechanical engineering or something like that. I don't even remember anymore. I think it was mechanical engineering. And then afterwards, there was another counseling that happened. So in that counseling, we went to, I think, Decrust Murtal. And at that time, I think we were able to get chemical engineering for myself. So we got chemical engineering. And then afterwards, I went to YMCA Faridabad. I got, I think, this IT or something. Yeah, it was something like that. Electronics and instrumentation technology, something like that. As soon as that happened, just the next day we had the counseling again in Dikras Murtal, and at that time like I was able to get civil engineering. In general, it was such a chaotic time, like when you are done with your 12th and you're trying to like get inside a university and like you're trying to get to the best one according to the opinions of different kind of people. It was very interesting because like we just ran around to so many different places, to so many different universities, enrolled myself in every single university, paid the admission fee of every single university, and then we had to like close our enrollment in the previous one and then like go to the new one because like this is the option that you have. So in the end, I ended up studying in Dikras Murtal. Nice thing that I found about the university was that first of all, like it was like nicely fenced everywhere. Most of the universities in India are. Then you had like absolutely no traffic within the campus. If you take a look at Kurukshetra University, it is like one of the biggest and the largest ones in Haryana, and I mean, the traffic there is crazy. Like you have like still like a lot of people going around and a lot less people going on foot. Whereas in Dikras Murtal, first of all, we did not have any student associations. So that was a positive, that there's no drama whatsoever, no elections, no fights, nothing. Second thing that I really liked was that like most of the students, they were just like walking to the departments and back to the hostel. And at the entrance gate already, they were not allowing like any of the students to like bring their private vehicles inside the campus, so that there's also no drama like that. So in Dequest, it was like kind of studying in a Gurukul or something because they were trying to homogenize everything. That is like students do not feel that the other guy has too much money or things like that, and like everybody just like comes into this study mood so that there's no politics and stuff like that. In the starting, I would say like this, like the academic side of things was a very nice experience for me, but on the other hand, if you take a look at the hostel situation, it was just horrible. So I remember the first morning, like going to my hostel and like kind of staying there. Like my parents dropped me, and I was looking out the balcony. So my mother like started crying all of a sudden, like when they were going back. And I was like, that's interesting. And this was also like the first time for me when I was like kind of staying away from the family from for such a long time. But Murthal and Kurukshetra, they are not like so far away. Murthal is what I think like 2.5 hours away or something with bus from Kurukshetra. So on the weekends, I and my friend Yaman, we used to like just kind of jump on a bus. We used to go to Kurukshetra and we used to like chill out on Saturday and Sunday. That was how it was in the starting. But on the first day when I was in the hostel, like I went in the morning, like man, to the toilet and it turns out I wake up like pretty early. I wake up at 5 or something. So then like I just went to the toilet and like man, turns out like there's no water. And then like you go out, you find like where's the water. There's a big tank or something where like water is filled up. Like you take it and then you do your stuff with that. So I mean it was so crazy because like did not have any kind of experience like that back at home. So I was like, the first morning just started bad. It was like, how is it possible that you're charging money for hostel but like there's no water or something? But nice. I mean, like then we talked in the evening with the roommate and everything, and they were like, yeah, like this is a problem and things like that. Because of all of these counseling, I joined it pretty late. I joined in the university on 1st September, whereas the classes or like the students were already there since I think end of July or something. So people already found different kind of groups. People already have different kind of like people they hang around with and things like that. So in the starting, like it was a bit difficult to kind of also mingle around with different kind of friends or like to make friends at all in the university. But I had a few good ones, like whom I was able to like get in touch with like very quickly. And then afterwards in second year, things got better. And in third year, so in second year already people start talking about like the GATE and GRE and things like that I would go abroad, I would do this and things like that. In second year, nothing was like very fixed for me. I was like, yeah, okay, like most probably I'm going to like go to study in Germany, but I'm not sure. Like maybe I'm just going to try to give the GATE exam. What happened afterwards was like everybody started like registering themselves for this Made Easy in India, in New Delhi. And like most of the batch was just signing up and they're like, yeah, we are also going to study there. They're the best, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. So I think towards the end of the second year or something, we registered ourselves for Made Easy. Then the classes started in the third year and it was very different because like all of these people around you are telling you that you should do GATE. Your professors are saying you should do GATE. Your professors are saying you should do IES and things like that. And the thing is like, I realized I'm not so good with these competitive examinations. On the other hand, if you take a look at the language examinations, I'm like just perfectly fine with that because I can understand languages and I can comprehend that much better than quickly sitting and like, solving some kind of questions and stuff. So my idea with that was like, okay, like I was very hesitant. I was like, do I want to put myself through this again? Like this entire burn from IIT exams and everything like that hasn't yet gone away completely. But I want to like go through this again and I want to like sit and prepare for like different kind of government exams and everything again. That did not sit well with me because I did not want to like spend again like time with my parents or something and then like just staying at home not doing anything. That felt like a very horrible thing. So on the side I was like just applying to different kind of conferences and stuff. My father gave me a lead that, hey, this conference is happening, like how about you apply to this? So of course, the rest of the work was mine. I was like reading more research papers and stuff and then figuring out like how exactly I as a civil engineering student can do something in that field. Couldn't. So I decided to do the like most basic thing possible, which was just doing literature review of what kind of work has been done so far in the space debris removal. That was my paper about the conventional and unconventional methods of space debris removal, something like that. So in that, like you just see different kind of work that previously others have suggested, you put all of that together and you summarize everything. So I was like, okay, let's do this. I sent it out, I got accepted. They waived off the conference fee and everything for me because I decided that I will be helping them out with a few things. So if you work as an assistant in a conference or something, and if it's a big conference, they generally waive off the fee that you have when you're like, doing something. So I was like, great, I'm going to do that. That's not a problem at all. So essentially, it was just like taking the pen drives and stuff from the presenters, putting it up in the computer and like loading it. And this conference was taking place in Friedrichshafen in Germany. So I was like, this is going to be really, really cool. So I went there, I did all of these things. I met Alina at that time, and I essentially came back. And like after having like experienced Germany, I was like, man, like there is no way I'm not going to like stay there for a longer time. And there's no way I'm not going to try for it. Like, seriously, this time. Because the thing is, like, unless sometimes you experience something, you are not really sure about that particular, maybe, place or that particular idea that you want to decide on. Because I had this choice of either do GATE or IES, or go abroad and do something on your own. So I kind of like went ahead further, started applying for internships and things like that. At the end of third year, I had my internship with Schleichberger & Partner in Berlin. Really nice company, had a really good experience with them. Also got to spend some time with Alina in Hamburg. Every single weekend I used to like take the Flixbus to Hamburg, and then Alina would pick me up at the bus station, and then like we would go to her place. Monday morning, same, 4 o'clock, she would drop me at the bus station, and then I would take the bus at 4:30 or something. I would go to Berlin, start doing my work Monday to Friday, and then like going back. So this was something for us, and then towards the end it was like, man, like we have to do something. So in the end, I was like, I'm not going to do this IES and GATE and everything. What I'm going to do is, after experience the work culture in Germany during my internship, and just like seeing how it is to like live in Germany, and also like Alina was a reason, I was like, I'm going to start my master's, and I'm going to start my master's in Germany. And I started taking a look after my internship on what kind of options are available for civil engineering, for doing masters in Germany. There weren't many good ones, because like the English taught programs generally are very restrictive in the sense of what are you allowed to study there. So I decided I'm going to go for a German taught program, and towards the end I ended up learning German in the last semester of my bachelor's, because I just couldn't get the time to kind of sit down and learn German all this time. But the last semester of the bachelor was like, either it's now or never, so I have to like get something done. I started in January. 30th May was the B2 exam. So I was able to clear that exam. So we can count like 5 months like around for this B2 exam, and this test stuff was in 6 months or something like that. So the next month I wrote the test stuff, and everything worked out just fine. So test stuff I got 17 points, B2 exam I was able to clear. So with B2 exam I applied to TUHH, I got rejected. And then afterwards I applied for the reconsideration letter, I got accepted. And then we started the entire story of reconsideration and everything from there. Now, when I started studying in Germany, like the first experience was, man, this is crazy. Like it's just me in this entire like, group of like other German students, or like students who are born in Germany and are completely fluent with German, and I'm like even struggling to speak the language. How is it going to work out? But the professors, they were very, very supportive. Like you have no idea. Like in some universities, you will find such nice professors. They will be like, yeah, if you cannot write in German, you can write in English. You just have to take permission from them. Also the same for the presentations. If you cannot present in German, you can present in English. But I wouldn't bank too much on that, because yes, in the starting 1 or 2 presentations is fine, that you're like asking for their help or something. But if they see you doing this over and over again, then it begs the question like, why exactly did you take the German taught program at all? Right? So the responsibility lies on you, that you're actually just sitting down, you're working on your German and things like that. So far, like coming from India, like where like there wasn't water on the first day in the hostel, to like, coming to Germany where like everything was like super organized and I didn't have to worry about anything at all. You have an entire book library where you do not need to have any human contact. You just like put the books, you scan it, and that's it. Like, you have this scanning ATM or something. Put the books in there, take it out, and like you're done. A lot of the things you could just like, kind of organize online. You can see what kind of books are due for their reissuing, or like you have to submit them back sooner. There were a lot of like, really cool things. So I started comparing my life in India versus like what I was living in Germany, and like within the first year, I could still see some of my friends who were also like, graduating from the same university, Die Murtel, who were like sitting at home right now and like preparing for government exams. And they were like, yeah, this is like not nice to be in the same situation again. but some of them actually got placed in very, very nice places. So like we had like one batchmate who had the IES like rank of 5 in civil engineering. I was like, damn, I mean, like that's very nice, but I think this also needs a lot of self-awareness to decide like if you were comfortable with these kind of exams previously or not, and if you would like to continue doing this again or not. Because for me it was like I really hated the experience of 11th and 12th. If there would be one period of my life that I would not want to discuss with anybody or would not want to talk about with anybody, is 11th and 12th. Because with going to school, having coaching, and like going to these different kind of coaching centers. So like I was going to school, of course, then we had a local coaching institute where I was studying at, then we were going to this Vidya Mandir classes in New Delhi from Kurukshetra, so every single weekend or something. That was also taking 4 hours drive one way and then 4 hour drives other way. This was not a good experience. I mean, I really absolutely do not believe that anybody who is at the age of like 15 or 16, they should be experiencing these things. I really believe they should be able to like enjoy their youth, because once you're thrown into the university and stuff, the only option afterwards is that you're going to take up a job and you're going to take some responsibilities. As soon as you take up a job, you're essentially never going to get back. Like, I mean, think about it. Once the job starts, like pretty much the only time that you're looking at after that is going to be retirement. That's when the next phase of your life starts, right? So that was something I really didn't like. And that's why I think like my family also understood that. And when my brother, he was in the age of like, 11th and 12th, they were like, it doesn't make sense. We are just going to send you to Canada. You don't have to like sit through all of these government exams or something, or think about writing this CA exam and things like that. They were like, no, you don't have to do it. And I'm really happy for him. He's actually really happy in Canada right now. And he's working in Ernst & Young. That's also not a bad company at all. And I mean, in general, like things worked out very well. So I really do not believe when everybody tells you that this IIT JEE and this 12th exams and everything is so important. I mean, yes, do your best. Like that's important. Like when you do your best, you do not have any kind of regrets in the end. You feel like, yes, I tried my best, but this just did not work out. And this should be your mindset. Even if like in your 12th or something, you're getting like 70-80% or something, like who cares? Like afterwards, anyways, when you're applying for masters and things like that, nobody is talking about your score of 12th. Nobody, absolutely nobody. Their biggest priority is how much score do you get in your bachelor's. But if you're coming for bachelor's, then I would say try to work on your grade in your 12th, because that is really going to help you out when you're writing the FSP exam in the end, and when they calculate 50% from the FSP and then they calculate 50% from your 12th grade examinations. There it is going to still help, but like finding places in universities in Germany is generally like so much more easier than finding places in India, because in India essentially everybody who can afford to go to a university, they go to a university, even if they end up doing something completely different in the end. But in Germany, that's not the case. People don't even go to the universities, because for them it's like, okay, do I want to study and like not earn any money on the side, or do I want to do a vocational training where I'm doing some kind of work, I'm getting paid for it, and afterwards I most of the times have a short job with the company which is giving me this vocational training. So that's why not many people actually study in universities in Germany, and that's why it is easier for foreigners to like get a place in the university compared to like many other countries. So this is pretty much my experience with this. I hope you learned something. I hope you understand that if you perform worse or like bad in your 12th and IIT exams or something, it's not the end of the world. Right now, the kind of like lifestyle I'm able to live, this is definitely much better, 20, 30 or 300x better than what many of my batchmates are living, and even the ones who studied in IIT JEE and things like that. I've been able to start up my own business. I have the opportunity to give employment to 8 different people, and I'm really happy about it. I've tried different things. We are trying constantly new kind of things to like kind of solve people's problems. And for this, you do not need a degree. You do not need a paper from IIT to be able to let you do those things. You can do it on your own. You just have to try things out. That's it. And you can try things out without being in IIT too. I didn't go to IIT and I turned out just fine. I did not perform that well in 12th and I turned out just fine. So these things you have to keep in mind. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in getting any kind of guidance or something for studying or working in Germany, check out Big Academy, where we have courses for complete course for studying in Germany and complete course for finding jobs in Germany, which helps you with those things. Thank you so much again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.